It is Saturday, November 6th, the weekly wrap-up once again. This week we started off with, well, the usual. Had a bunch of new songs and started off with a new addition to our completely free lesson series, Bell Bottom Blues. And we've had a lot of Eric Clapton stuff up here for a long time. And as a few other songs are coming through the works, we're trying to put up as many free ones as we can for everybody, because some songs just everybody should have the right to, and Bell Bottom Blues is one of those. So then we continued the rest of the week with some of our normal Target releases. Normal? I don't know if any of them are normal. Had a good mix of stuff from different eras. Played, of course, I've Just Seen a Face. I think that was Tuesday. And then we also had some other kind of unusual songs. Well, went back even a little earlier than that. And jumped on the Kinks bandwagon again with All Day and All the Night. And followed that with something that I was not really familiar with. So Thursday's song was Stuff and Nonsense, Crowded House, Tim Finn, New Zealand band. And I got to thank Matt for bringing some of this stuff to my attention. A song from the late 70s that really didn't get much, well, they weren't very well known over here, especially not at that point. A decade or two later, people went back and listened to some of that early stuff. But Stuff and Nonsense has this great, again, it was a piano tune. So we talk about in that lesson kind of how you can take a song designed for the piano and work it out on the guitar. And then ended the week with one of the heaviest requests we've had. So yes, I have stopped teasing you guys with Silent Lucidity. It is finally up, and we even take a look at the descending chords through through kind of the interlude and the way of playing the lead. So had a lot of fun putting that lesson together. It was a little bit outside just outside the norm for us. But that leads me to a little bit of what's kind of happening over the next week, especially. I really appreciate the votes and everything on the recommend a lesson thing, because that is where I'm really heavily concentrated over the next few weeks, is to tackle some of the songs that are in there. Now, just some that jump to my mind, but don't know when you'll see this. I like seeing that one up near the top. So there's there are a lot of great songs in there. So keep it up. A lot of times too, I find a great recommendation for a song that's not going to get really a lot of votes, but it jumps right out at me. So keep putting in new songs, because I mean, the other day I was looking at pages 8, 9, 10, 17 and finding tunes on there that I thought, oh yeah, that's a great one, even though it only has 3 votes. So don't be afraid to put in a song that you think is not enough people know or pretty obscure. I try to check out just about all of them. So of course the website, the construction, the reconstruction, the deconstruction, reconstruction, and rebuilding of Rome is all still happening. Obviously rolling out a little bit slower than we thought. A lot of technical glitches. So also appreciate everybody's patience for hanging with us when things look different than they did 10 minutes before. And you think, wow. But I think the favorites thing is working now. The community is working. Everything is back, getting very close. So as of next week, we will be starting to roll out a bunch more stuff again, like we had been the week before. Some of the cool things that have been going on the forum. I love some of the threads that people are putting out there. We had Chaz's column is always a great thing about the week in history, and I know he's been putting that up for about a year, so I do got to thank him for that, because I always take a look at that. Also appreciate Jim's Thought for the Day column. Speaking of columns, we have added some more stuff to our Tommy Emmanuel series, On the Beat. And I know watching Tommy play in that hotel room when Matt and I spent some time with him last spring, I guess it was still in the winter really, early February as I recall, Valentine's Day. Yeah, that was it. It was Valentine's Day weekend that he was playing in San Francisco, and we got to hang out with him. So getting to spend time with him and having him play some of those tunes for us and explain a little bit about what he does, and especially the Moon River one is killer, Ruby's Eyes, Finger Lakes, all of those when he talks about those songs. I know people are enjoying those, and we hope to be getting more of those. There's still a little bit more in the pipeline, but we hope to get more of that next time he's here, which I think is going to be next February as well. So, and last thing I want to get to is also want to thank people who have been contributing to Matt B's the fund that we've set up and the auction that we're getting together. So you guys are great stepping out with the donations and the items for auction. 12-string Ovation guitar. By the way, did anybody nag Ovation about about them not putting up my Tom Petty lesson? If you haven't, check in on that. We should have won one of those guitars that we could be auctioning off right now for Matt as well. So anyway, so if you haven't checked it out or you haven't seen what's going on, all that stuff is updated all the time. We've got a link to the blog about Matt, and I spent a little bit of time last night with him via Skype. And it was, we had a good time, had a few good laughs and reminisced about some old times and talked about some of the things that we will be doing with him in the future. So we're just, everybody hang in there and keep the good thoughts and karma coming. And again, thanks for everybody who's put in something so far. So that is it for today, Saturday, November 6th. I'll be heading off to play a little guitar today. I think I'm taking the day off of instructing and maybe working on some new tunes. That's the latest thing I've written. Well, not really, but that's a few years old now. So my little trip to Molokai. So I will be back next week, and we have again a lot of cool stuff coming out Monday. Stay tuned.